Alrighty, hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Laura and here I talk about mental health, minimalism, the fact that I'm having a baby, the fact that my husband and my dog, he's always right here, he has neediness issues. My husband and my dog and I are moving to the other side of the world in a few months. We are moving to Germany and all of the fun ways that those things kind of meld together to make my life. Which is what I'm here doing. It's just living my life and having my iced coffee in my keep cup, because I had one in my keep cup this morning when we went to the beach with Bailey, because it's Sunday. That's what you do on a Sunday. And then I didn't want to make more dishes. So FYI, this is half calf. And I think it's only a single shot per cup. So I'm well below my caffeine limits. Thank you for asking. At the moment, I am at about 17 weeks, which is very exciting. So I'm well into my second trimester. So let's talk about second trimester things, because it has been great. And when I say great, I mean, like, yes, there's still annoying things, but oh my goodness, compared to first trimester. In first trimester, I had a moment. I had a little moment where I was sat on the sofa thinking to myself, is this the worst mistake I've ever made? Genuinely, that is how bad I felt. And I felt that way for about 6 weeks. But now that I'm at like 17 weeks, I am feeling so much better. So I don't know what the dog's doing, but anyway. Yeah, it's just been a much better experience over the last wee while, and I am very grateful for that. And we also have a little bit of bump coming through, so I'm gonna show you guys that. Okay, hold on. Ta-da! Here we are. We have a bit of the bump coming through. Bailey, you're in the way, buddy. You're in the way. You're in the way. Thank you. Yeah, so these are baby suit shorts. I showed you guys my maternity wardrobe not so long ago, but since then I have decided, because my husband is doing a half marathon, that I'm going to do the 5K, because I used to do running and I kind of want something to work towards. We are getting into spring, as you can tell, because I'm dressed a bit more springy. I'm wearing shorts. I have wanted something to work towards, so I've started running again, but of course my old running shorts are like really tight on my tummy, and like physically they fit, but it just gets really uncomfy, and I have enough pressure like on my bladder as it is. I don't need that additional pressure, especially while I'm trying to run. So I went to Lorna Jane because they are my fave, and I don't think I've ever bought Lorna Jane full price, but yeah, that's what I had to do this time. So anyway, 110 New Zealand dollars later, I have these really great maternity bike shorts that also have a pocket. Thank goodness, we need pockets. I have almost no pockets in any of my maternity stuff right now, so very grateful for that. So yeah, I'm doing more exercise. My Apple Watch, which I use to track everything, is definitely showing that I'm getting more exercise in, and I'm just like, I'm feeling more up to it. I kind of had to get out of the habit of like trying to get exercise in first trimester, because I had a certain amount of exercise that was just like inherently part of my lifestyle, like needing to potentially walk home from the train, which with a bag with a heavy laptop and stuff at the end of the day, walking over a kilometre with some of it uphill was really tough. So any kind of intentional exercise was just like a no-go. I was doing stretching and like that was it. But now that I do have that energy, I want to try get back into that habit and back into that pattern of trying to do exercise before I hit third trimester, when it becomes harder again. I want to try do that now so that we've got that momentum going. I used to have a gym membership up until a few months ago, and I am no longer going to the gym. I think I might like to once we get to Germany, because also we're going to be getting into winter, so it's going to be snowy. So that might be a bit difficult to be like out running and stuff. So we'll see what happens then. But for now, I have a couple of weights to do stuff at home. It's still a lot of stretching, a lot of body weight stuff. And then, yeah, with the running, which is cool. So that's what I'm doing kind of exercise wise. Food-wise has been a lot better. Again, just having like energy to do stuff and make stuff. Like you can just eat so much better when you actually have time and energy to make stuff. I still have to like plan it out. This is so weird for me to say. I have like a beef, I don't even remember the name of it. But anyway, it's one of the ones you meant to slow cook. I have that slow cookering in the oven right now. And I'm going to do roast veggies and green vegetables with that. And that's kind of my meal prep for a lot of this week. It's very weird for me to be having that. But I'm trying to get a lot of those really good fat-soluble vitamins, lots of eggs and good fish stuff and supplements that are appropriate for that, lots of vegetables, trying to limit refined carbohydrates and sugars. I'm basically trying to, as much as I can, follow the diet. I say diet, you know what I mean, like the food plan, the food ideas laid out in the book Real Food for Pregnancy. I used the book Real Food for Fertility in order to get pregnant, basically. And so I really wasn't up to it during my first trimester. I wasn't even up to reading during my first trimester, but now I have that time and energy. I'm trying to get through that book, Real Food for Pregnancy, and try and stick to that as much as I can for the second half of this pregnancy. And that's going pretty decently. Symptoms-wise, so one that's been interesting is I've always had oily type skin. It's never been like super, super bad, but it's definitely been oily type. And what I've been noticing is that around like my nose and then above my lips and then on my chin, I've been getting dry skin. And normally my makeup that I will do is just like a powder foundation and then like powder contour and blush and then a bit on my eyes, and that's kind of it. But when you have dry skin and then you put powder on it, it dries it out even more. And so I was really struggling because I'm like, this is totally different. I've never had this before. So I have some more kind of moisturizing stuff to use. I've got more rosehip oil, which I've also been using on my boobs and my tummy because it is feeling like it needs that now. So that's kind of been a thing, is a skin thing. Nothing weird, like digestion-wise, that's all kind of been all good. No pica, I'm not wanting to like eat car tires or anything yet, which is good. That's what pica is, by the way, when you want to eat non-food items. Maybe I want to nom on Bailey, he's adorable. I get that sometimes. I think that's just cute aggression, though. That's just cute aggression. He is just sitting right here with me right now because he's just a sweetie pie. The main thing that I would say, and I'll get up to show you, is sort of through my legs and my hips. So what I have been getting is, particularly like on the days when I've been doing a lot, is a lot of pain through the fronts of my legs and like almost kind of numbness through here where the IT band is. And that has been quite difficult. There has been a little bit of discomfort sort of through the lower back here, and I think that that's coming from that just arching too far forward. So trying to stack that has been my goal. Because of the pain through the fronts of my legs, it's been a lot of, you know, this kind of thing to try stretch through here, and then also just general stuff to try stretch through my hips. I am pretty flexy anyway, so I want to make sure I'm kind of stretching the right stuff. But it's really for me just trying to get that basic function and trying to do the things that feel right and trying to do the stuff that's generally going to be good for my body. So yeah, that's kind of been my focus there. Yeah, you also get puffed a lot during pregnancy. I will admit I've had a few people kind of make comments of like, oh, you look like you're working hard there, when I'm walking like uphill, trying to keep pace with the dog, carrying water in my backpack on my bag. And I'm like, yeah, trying to do all this whilst pregnant is really hard because I don't really look pregnant. These maternity bike shorts like actually like make me look pregnant, but with the stuff I normally wear to the park, I do not look pregnant. And so I'm like, yes, I know, it's because I'm pumping 1.5 times a normal person's blood. Oh, So I've definitely been noticing that. But again, I'm still just trying to push through it and kind of pretend that it's not there so that I can try and keep up that level of fitness, because that is going to be important, particularly that cardiovascular fitness. It's never really been my focus. But now that I can feel how much harder my body is having to work, I'm like, this is a thing. This is a thing that I should be focusing on. So I am. Also, to help support all of that, I am seeing my chiropractor every 2 weeks. And I'm always feeling, when I go away from that, like I can just get my body into a stronger position. And I know that some people like have their qualms with chiropractors, and that's totally fine. But I think for me, it's like if someone was going to throw something heavy at me and I needed to catch it, I want to be able to feel like I can like hold strong and prepare my body to do that. And there's been times through this pregnancy where I really have not felt like I can do that. I really feel like everything is just not in alignment to the point where I can actually really hold my body together and support my body. And so when I'm going away from those chiropractic sessions, I feel a lot more like I'm able to do that, which is awesome. I also have an acupuncturist that I go see. So she does acupuncture and massage and cupping to help support sort of pregnancy related stuff, but then just my body in general. And I also feel like that is really awesome, and I feel really lucky to have that support there. So yeah, that's been really, really cool. The question that everyone always wants to know on the internet is, how much weight have you gained? This was never going to be a massive deal to me. I felt like pregnancy was a really awesome opportunity for me to focus on doing the right things and letting the outcome be whatever it was going to be, right? And however my body chose to react to me doing those things that I felt were the most appropriate and the most helpful and the most healthy for me in whatever state I was in. I.e., if I feel like I want to eat nothing except cheese scones, I'm going to eat cheese scones, right? Which I did for a bit there, and cheese scones are awesome. And so I wanted to kind of try to not care as much, because I feel like we as women care so much about how our bodies look and trying to be skinny and all of this. In a way, I've kind of really enjoyed this because I have always been disproportionate. I've always had really big thighs and then like smaller hips and waist and torso. So things have never quite fit well. And now I feel like my waist, and then also I feel like my torso, like my ribs are kind of expanding out of it. I feel like my waist and my torso are now actually proportionate to my bigger thighs. And so now I actually feel like clothing makes more sense for me. So that's been quite funny. I have one outfit that is amazing that I got for $20 this week that I will have to show you guys at some point. And that is perfect because that is a size 14 New Zealand, which I think is the same sizing as Australia and the UK. So that's a size 10 US, and back in the day, a few years ago, I was wearing like 4s, maybe 6s US. So yeah, I've gone up like 4 to 6 full sizes, but it actually fits my thighs and then it has room for my body. It's so good. Anyway, I'll show you guys that. But numbers wise, I have gained about 5 kilos so far in this pregnancy, which is just over 9 pounds. So for my whole pregnancy, I'm sort of, based on the calculations, which are like BS anyway, I should be gaining between kind of 11 and 15 kilos. So the fact that I've gained about 5 and I'm about 17 weeks through from a 40-week pregnancy, it kind of lines up. It makes sense. It's sort of within healthy. No one's going to have any issues with that. I will say, however, that I am not really weighing myself. So I got weighed at my very first midwife appointment when I was like 12-ish weeks, and then we recently got scales. Was it 12 weeks? Was it 12 weeks? I'm going to say it was 12 weeks, whatever. And I'd gone up a couple of kilos by then from my pre-pregnancy weight when I was going to the gym. And then recently we bought scales because we're going to need to start packing suitcases soon and making sure that they are the correct weight. And so I weighed myself then, so then I know I've gone up a few more kilos, right? That's kind of it. I don't believe my midwife is going to weigh me for this next appointment. She didn't weigh me at the last one, so it's kind of whatever. Speaking of midwives appointments, I have one in a week or so, and then a week or a bit after that, I have my 20-week ultrasound, which is where we do all of the anatomy checks and everything, although everything was looking great at about 13 weeks. So hopefully that's still the case. And find out the gender. Dun, dun, dun! Which we're not super invested in, but I think we just kind of want to know. And also, because we're looking to get stuff secondhand once we get to Germany, I don't want to be that person who's like buying something that's bright pink secondhand and we're having a boy, because then people get mad when you dress your boy in bright pink. And I'm like, I just want to avoid fights. I want to avoid people getting mad at me over what I dress my baby in, because I ain't going to have no patience and I don't want to be yelling at people recently postpartum. That'd be a bad idea. Basically, it's me avoiding yelling at people. That's what I'm doing this for. Like, I don't really care beyond that. So yeah, it's for me to know so that if there are super gendered options only, that I am picking the right one. That's basically it. Everything else, we're going to go pretty gender neutral. I mean, I'm a female engineer married to a male, like, classical musician, artist. And I got short hair, and like, we don't really care. So anyway, we will find out. I don't really think we're going to tell people because it's not super important. But we will find out. We do have names picked for a boy or for a girl. Again, those are not for being shared on the internet, but I really like them. They're kind of like a little bit unusual, but everyone's kind of heard the name. It's just not the most usual thing. You know, I remember, this isn't the name, but I remember someone that I worked with once, and her daughter's name was Kira, as in like Keira Knightley. I was like, oh, and I thought I'd never heard the name Kira, but then I'm like, oh, that's right. So kind of like that kind of thing, where it's like, you do know a Kira, because Keira Knightley, the actress, right? But it's not like a super common name, but it's also not super complicated. It's not like a really long-winded kind of name. So yeah, that's sort of the vibe that we're going for, you know, like, they'll be able to spell it by the time they're like 5 or 6, you know? Maybe 5, yeah, you know? We're going for that, so... Yeah, anything else going on? So, we've done food, we've done clothes, we've done symptoms, we've done midwife. Oh, speaking of midwife, we had a call in the last like couple of days with my midwife in Germany, because we're moving to Germany, right? So my midwife here advised that we get onto that ASAGDMFP. That is the correct. That's an Archer reference for those who get it. It means as soon as GDMFing possible, which makes sense. However, my experience so far with the medical system in Germany is that people are getting back to me within a day or so. And in New Zealand, I texted so many midwives who never got back to me. And I found it much easier. So the midwife that I have linked in with, she serves sort of the whole area that we're going to be possibly living in. We're in an Airbnb for a month, and then we need to find an apartment. She can cover any of those areas, which is awesome. She works at a birthing center rather than a hospital, which was my preference. But when I realized we were moving to Germany, I sort of gave up on that preference. I was like, you know, wherever I can get in, whatever I can get, I will make that work. But the fact that she is in a really like cute, like cozy, lovely little birthing center, for me is just like fantastic. So we had an initial call with her. I'd done a quick, like a sort of a rough estimate first run through. It took me like 20 minutes to fill in of a birth plan. So she sort of knew what I was thinking and sent that through to her. So we kind of talked through that. And she was really supportive of all of that stuff and really happy to hear like all of what I was saying and the fact that I was so informed and all of this. So I'm really very excited for that, and already feeling like so supported. Yeah, I'm just feeling really excited about the whole experience. She does also speak English, which is very helpful. And although we are trying to learn our German, when you're in like panic stations, babies coming, you kind of just need someone who understands what you're saying, which is really, really great. I did not want to be signing up to have a midwife who did not really understand English. Although, again, in Germany, people learn English in schools, like from a very young age, from like 8 years old. It's a thing that people know generally. So if they see me practiced at it, it's going to be okay. So yeah, that's where we're at. It's all kind of happening. It's all really exciting. I am so glad that now that we are in the stage leading up to actually getting stuff packed and getting overseas, second trimester is going really well for me so far. So fingers crossed that that continues. For all those who've been following this journey so far, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. It seems like an age ago that, you know, I was wondering if this was ever going to happen, and now here we are, almost halfway through the pregnancy, and everything's looking really great so far. So it's just, oh, I'm gonna get emotional. Oof. It's just really, really awesome. So thank you so much for being here. If you have any other questions related to like how I'm doing, what I'm finding, what our plans are, how we're gonna make this work with like moving overseas, having a baby overseas, all of that, please feel free to comment them down below. Please subscribe and like and share and tell your mom about this video. I don't know, do whatever you want, go crazy. And I will see you guys again soon. Bye.